Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I took a little break from uploading for a while. I wasn't feeling the motivation to necessarily record, but I've still been reading a lot, and today I'm going to review Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. So I'm in the process of basically reading all of his books that take place within his universe, the Cosmere, including this one. And Warbreaker was originally released digitally on Brandon's website over multiple iterations, and it's still available in full if you want to go read it for free. You can read this book for free online right now after watching this video if you want to. I'll leave a link in the description. I'm happy to have a physical copy for my library, so let's just go ahead and get into the review. In the world of Warbreaker, everyone is born with something called breath, with a capital B. This essence of sorts can be transferred between people and accumulated. So if a person possesses enough breaths, it grants them certain abilities, such as being able to discern distinct shades of color, perfect pitch, and the ability to perform a magic called awakening. This involves manipulating organic objects by giving them commands and using color as fuel. So to awaken something, you have to be touching something else that has color to it, like a red scarf, and literally drain the color from it so that it becomes gray to sort of power the magic. In the city of Hallandren, there are gods known as the Returned. They were once humans who died and came back to life in a peak ideal physical form, and the people of Hallandren worship these beings with priests catering to their every whim, while they live these luxurious lives confined within their court of gods. The most powerful of all the Returned is the mysterious god king Susebron, who is in need of an heir. And this is where two sisters come in, Vivenna and Ciri, princesses of Idris, a nation that broke away from Hallandren after a war that took place centuries before. And a clause in a peace treaty between the two nations results in the king of Idris having to send his daughter to marry the god king. Ciri, the younger daughter, is sent in the place of Vivenna, who was originally supposed to fulfill this role, and Ciri becomes part of the Hallandren court of the gods and must delve into its hidden secrets. Vivenna makes her way to the city as well in secret and finds herself working with some questionable people in her attempts to protect her sister and her people from the threat of war. We also have a man called Lightsong, the returned god of bravery, who is skeptical of his own divinity. He's lazy, obstinate, and does everything in his power to make himself as useless as possible, but becomes driven to solve a murder mystery within the court. And we also have a character named Vasher, a man working in the underground of Hallandren with a mysterious past and a very unique weapon, a sentient sword called Nightblood. Something is going on behind the curtains of the Court of the Gods. There's growing civil unrest in the streets of Hallandren and talk of war with Idris, and our characters have to figure out a way to solve all these mysteries and problems before it's too late. So, like most of Sanderson's work that I've read so far, I thought Warbreaker was very good. Full marks from me. It tells a colorful story, literally a colorful story, with protagonists that undergo pretty intense and striking metamorphoses by the end, and I think that this is emblematic of Sanderson. He writes incredible fantasy stories with lots of good plot, but there's also just so much focus put into developing the characters. He is both a story-driven and a character-driven author, and I think that's shown very well in this standalone. Perhaps with the characters Vasher and Susebron, it's not quite so intense, not quite so much focused on their characterization, but for Vivenna, Ciri, and Lightsong, you really see them evolve as they experience more things in the story, particularly Vivenna, who was my favorite character. She experiences a very intense culture shock, and her biases and beliefs that come from her upbringing really color her actions and her thoughts, just as those things have an effect on people in real life, whether you to, realize it or not. And it's very hard to change those things that come to us naturally out of reflex. And Sanderson does a great job of showing us a character that's being confronted with a reality that doesn't match the truth that she knows. For me, this book was all about blurring the lines between what is good and what is bad. You know the saying, everyone is the hero of their own story, and that's what this book is about. That's what I got out of this book. What can be seen as evil by some can be good to others, and to some, the ends justify the means. And seriously, by the end, I couldn't really fault anyone in this story for doing what they did, knowing their motivations, what they believe, and what they went through. I do have to say this in criticism though, Light's song does get annoying very often to me. His story is interesting, but I don't know that he was necessarily written very well even. He was too quippy and fast and sarcastic basically all the time, which to me made him feel less real, and it broke the immersion a bit when I was just constantly rolling my eyes at his never-ending retorts and clever one-liners. Sarcastic characters are all well and good, they're great, but I think Sanderson went a little overboard with Light Song personally. The magic system is also not my favorite, to be honest. It's still super interesting and definitely unique, but it's probably my least favorite magic system out of all of the Cosmere books. It's hard to put my finger on why that is exactly, because I love that the setting in this book is so vivid and lively and warm and tropical, especially compared to other settings that he's written, but I'm not crazy about, color magic. I've also decided that breath is one of my least favorite words. In this book, breath with a capital B is different than breath with a lowercase b, but I still can't help but associate the word breath in any form with the actual feeling of someone breathing on you, and let's be honest, most people don't want to be breathed on. No one's breath smells good unless you actively make it so with gum or spray or whatever. If you just brush your teeth, breath smells like mouth, okay? When authors describe someone's breath all pretty in purple prose and make it sound like it actually smells good, I'm just I don't want anyone's mouth air in my nostrils, thank you very much. Maybe I'm just cringing at the whole thing because of that word, I don't know what it is. Anyway, I still give this book 5 out of 5 stars. Political intrigue and mystery, a few action scenes throughout, introspective characters, and a great Sanderson ending. I think that this is a great first book to read by Brandon if you're wanting to give his adult fantasy a try. It gives you a sense of his writing style in one complete package. It's a standalone, so if you like this book, then there's a good chance that you'd probably enjoy his other series too. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you stopping by. Let me know what your least favorite word is. I know that moist is a super common one, and it actually doesn't bother me at all. I knew someone in high school who hated the word nostril for some reason. So what word makes you cringe? Let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed. Check out Warbreaker for free. Read it and come back and tell me what you thought of it. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!